He's the greatest athlete the state of Alabama's ever turned out.
Everyone knew he was going to get the ball.
Bo Jackson working out of the tailback spot. He breaks it big.
That's just not possible at that size. He's not human.
Jackson is down just short of the goal line.
He does things on that football field that other guys can't do.
Such a gifted athlete to be as big as he was and as fast as he was.
The most physical game I've seen him play.
Bo Jackson over the top.
His presence gave us a chance against everybody we played.
He was the best player on every field he stepped onto throughout his college career.
Bo Jackson showed up in the big games and played big time.
Jackson! Touchdown!
Hello and welcome to SEC Rewind. I'm Joe Tessitore. With the head coaching career of Alabama legend Bear Bryant winding down in 1982, the Crimson Tide were firmly in control of the Iron Bowl rivalry with Auburn. Bama had won the previous 9 entering the 82 edition, and most expected the streak to be extended. There was one problem for Alabama faithful, though, a freshman named Bo Jackson on the opposite sideline. For the call from Legion Field in Birmingham, here's ABC's Keith Jackson and Frank Broyles.
A look down on the city of Birmingham, Alabama, on a day with a temperature in the low 60s. It is a gray, overcast kind of a day. Legion Field, however, is one of the most colorful places in the country, always when Auburn and Alabama get together. And the Crimson Tide will kick off. Terry Sanders, the sophomore from Birmingham, will hit the ball. Lionel James, the junior for Auburn, waits for it deep in the end zone. There will be no return. Looking now at the offensive backfield, Randy Campbell. They told him a year ago he couldn't play quarterback, but look what he's done. And Bo Jackson, the big freshman from Bessemer, powerhouse of a man. Lionel James, the speedster, little guy, can fly. Ron O'Neal, big fullback, 5'9", 245. Wide out is Mike Edwards, 6'4", 194, big man with good speed. And now we come to the first play of the ball game. Auburn wearing the white. And Campbell sets him up out of the wishbone formation. And they will run the triple option most of the time. But you can expect today probably to see him working some out of the eye. The ball goes to Bo Jackson, the freshman from the 20. He's got 2 out to about the 22. Making the tackle, Eddie Lowe for Alabama, the weak side linebacker.
Eddie Lowe is not very big for a linebacker, but what Bear believes in is speed and quickness. Eddie's only 5'11", 190 pounds, but he knows where the football is. He reads very quickly, then he can react and come up with a good tackle to stop Jackson, number 34.
And it's 2nd down and 8 for Auburn from their own 22. Same formation, double wide. And the pitch goes back to Lionel James. He's got a big hole. Around the corner, he gets it up to the 27, wrestles to the 28, and there he is stopped by Al Blue, the free safety. The Auburn offensive front shapes up with Ed West, the tight end, 6'1", 245, primarily a blocker. Steve Wallace at tackle, 265, a freshman. David Jordan at guard, 266, a junior. Bishop Reeves, a center, 255, a senior. Randy Stokes, 256, freshman at guard. And Pat Arrington, 263, junior at tackle. War Eagle, they call him. And it's 3rd down and 2 from the 28-yard line as Campbell goes down the line on the option, goes outside with it. Look what I found. Pitch to Bo Jackson, tries to get around the corner, slides across the 30. That football almost got loose. To Stan Gay, the right side cornerback, brings him down. The advance is just short of the 30. It'll bring up 4th down. Defensively, Alabama's unit, Russ Wood, Randy Edwards, Mike Rodriguez, Jackie Klein. Mike Pitts, backers are Booker and Lowe, the secondary. Castile, Gay, Colburn, Blue. Auburn won't fool around with it with 4th and a half a yard. They'll punt it out of there. Lewis Colbert, a sophomore from Phoenix City, will punt it. This young man is quite a story. He has a club foot. Doesn't bother it. A fine athlete. Gets his kick out of there. Sort of a tail dragger that takes a high bounce and kicks out of bounds. He didn't get a whole lot of yardage out of it. And Colbert was rattled after he came back down to the ground, but no penalty flag. He only got 30 yards. Walter Lewis will start at quarterback. a junior for Alabama. Paul Carruth will be at the halfback spot, 210 pounds. Jeff Fagan, the fullback, 200 pounds. And Ricky Moore in the fullback position at 235. Joey Jones is one wide out, 5'9", 165. And the tight end, or actually a second wide out, will be Jesse Bendros, number 88. They're going to try some new formations today, breaking the bone against Auburn. And Walter Lewis back to throw on first down. He's going big for Joey Jones. He missed him. And it is incomplete. There was contact once the ball was gone, but no contact in the vicinity of the ball, and we'll isolate on Joey Jones and see what kind of a threat he can be.
Joey Jones is excellent at running his pass routes, and he has outstanding speed. He gets behind Drinker, number 80. The key is watch Drinker turn his head. If he doesn't play the ball, he turns just in time to play the ball and knock it away. Otherwise, it might have been pass interference.
Yeah, that back judge was reaching for the flag, and then he turned his head, and that saved him. Out of the wishbone now. And Jones is wide to the left side, and Walter Lewis is out there naked by himself and takes a lick as he gets it up to the 44. Scott Riley, defensive end, knocks him down. A senior from Birmingham. Alabama's offensive front, Jesse Bendros lining up at the tight end. He is a speedster. Doug Vickers, 248-pound junior at tackle. Gary Bramlett, 252 senior at guard. Steve Mott, the center, 250 a senior. Mike Adcock, 245-pound junior at guard. And Bob Kayavek, 252 a senior at tackle. Bendros to the top of the picture. Joey Jones to the wide side of the field, and Lewis is back to throw it, getting some heat. Sets up the screen. The pass is knocked off to the fullback Moore. Moore gets an Alabama first down as he crosses midfield and goes to about the Auburn 44.
What a great call. Third and long. Wishbone teams aren't known for their possession-type passing, and one of the best plays for the wishbone would be the screen. Easy throw. You treat it sort of like a running play. You just lay it out to your fullback, get a couple linemen out in front of you, and it's the first down. Excellent execution by the Alabama offense.
Tide working now at the Plainsman's 44. Bendros now comes to the open side of the field, the bottom of the picture with Joey Jones to the top. They break the bone again. And Lewis is straight back. Alabama opening up with the pass. Again, same play the other way. Ball goes to Ricky Moore. Moore shows some moves, gets 4 as he pounces to about the 40-yard line. Defensively for Auburn, this is the way they line up with Riley, Smith, Ortman, Thomas, and Jackson along the front. Carr, Martin. They are the linebackers. The secondary, King, Drinkard, Collier, and Harris. Dorman is still hurt, not in there. First quarter of play in Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama. Second down, 6 Alabama. Ball on the Auburn 40. No score, first quarter. Lewis going down the line, pitches the ball to Carruth. Carruth trying to turn the corner. Good defensive play by 43, Chris Martin. Or 42 it was, coming across to make the hit for Auburn.
Alabama with 2 split receivers, Bendros and Jones, opens up the secondary and gives some room for running, and that's their strategy, trying to break out the Auburn defense from being bunched inside where they're very strong.
There is some wind on the field. It is a bowl, and the wind tends to swirl around. It'll be troublesome. Third down, they need 3. Lewis going to put it in the air. He goes to the sidelines for Jones, and Jones is out of bounds. Pass is incomplete.
Jones, the wide receiver, into the boundary. Make the defensive back think deep. That was the move that he just put on. Turn, establish eye contact with the ball, and the pass is a little bit late. He's got 1 foot in bounds, but he didn't have control of it. He's still juggling the ball right there when he fell out.
It is 4th down.
It's close.
3 for Alabama at the Auburn 37. Bendros and Jones come out. Tide will punt it.
Now we have the quarterback. They're shifting up.
They're going to go.
Something tricky is
4th and 3 as Lewis came back in a short punt formation, and all that fiddling around has done is use up time on the clock. And it's going to cost Alabama 5 yards, and now Simmons will come in to do the punting. Malcolm Simmons, who is averaging in 1982 just over 43 yards per punt, and in his career just under 44.
Delay, offense, 25-second count.
If you examine the record, Bear is known for his shifting in and out of punt formation on short yardage to try to draw the defense offside.
There are your officials for today. The referee, Bob Allier, Harold Johnson, Norbert Ackerman, Bob Caldwell, Joe Delaney, Billy Tees. And Simmons will try to hang it up there. He's not going to be able to. That's going to hit on the goal line and bounce onto the end zone. It was Lewis. Lewis did the punting. The Goodyear Blimp America out of Houston. Took 3 days to get it over here from Houston. Pilot is Larry Chambers out of Spring, Texas. No flag. They picked it up. Malcolm Simmons went in, the punter. He lined up in a slot back position, and Walter Lewis, the quarterback, did the punting. Look out for that one later today. I'm surprised he showed it this soon. Auburn to the attack from the 20. Randy Campbell, the quarterback, keeps on the option, turns it upfield for 2 yards where Eddie Lowe brings him down.
Many times coaches would tell you size is important, but really instincts at linebacker is really what makes them great. They somehow know where the ball is. Eddie Lowe, number 57, did not take the fake of the dive back. He moved right to the outside. Something told him it was going to be the option play that makes the tackle.
Younger brother of an All-American here at Alabama, Woodrow Lowe. Woody going on to a fine career in professional football. 2nd down and 8 for Auburn. They take it inside. Here's Campbell's first pass of the day. Got a man. It's good. The pass is caught up at the 39-yard line by Chris Woods, a junior from Birmingham.
When the defense and start trying to stop the wishbone leaves their wide receiver pretty much open for the intermediate patterns, and you can see Woods, number 1, breaks to the outside. He cradles the ball inside for the first down.
First down for the Tigers at their own 39 as they pick up 17 yards on that play. Take it inside on the fake. Campbell keeps it. A lot of red shirts after him, and he moves out near the 44 for the better part of 5 yards. Russ Wood brings him down. Second down, about 6. They'll go inside. And it's out to the 48. Bo Jackson is a freshman, 6'1", 224 pounds from Bessemer, and they really think he's going to be a dandy.
Pat Dye says he's the 2nd best talent in the Southeastern Conference, meaning to Herschel Walker. Jackson has tremendous speed. He's running from the right halfback position, meaning he's running to the left, Keith, and it's more difficult to make the cuts for a natural right-hander going to the left. There you see the yardage gained by the 2 leading ball carriers for Auburn.
And Lionel James, little guy, but boy, he's dynamite, and he runs very well in traffic. Alabama sets up a 6-man front. They give the ball to James, and they run into a bus. And he stops right about the line of scrimmage. Mike Pitts, big 255-pound senior from Baltimore, makes the stop. It'll be 4th down. And they need a yard.
It appears that Auburn will take the chance here. The ball's still on their own 47-yard line. They appear to be going to go for it. Wishbone attack should be able to make it, but Auburn has not run a play up the middle so far in this ball game.
That has been successful.
That has been successful. That's correct.
Well, I tell you, I think this is the gamble. Greg Pratt, sophomore, 220-pounder out of Albany, Georgia, comes in and sticks his head in the pile, and it's close, Frank.
It depends entirely on the spot of the official, and I don't believe that he made it. I cannot see the spot from here.
They will measure. So Bob Allier wants the chain on to make sure it's that close. But that's a considerable risk from your own 48, needing a good yard, trying to stick your head in against an Alabama defense that had been raked over the coals the last couple of weeks. Now the coaching staff, because they have not played all that well. Tommy Wilcox has not come on the field. Tommy has been hurt, didn't make it. So Tommy came out, had a look, and comes right back off, and now timeout is called with 6 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the first quarter. Alabama holds Auburn and takes over the ball at the Auburn 49.
Well, I think the setup to that game was the fact that Alabama and Bear Bryant had owned Auburn.
Even though Alabama was starting to slow down just a little bit, during what became Bear Bryant's final season, the one thing you could count on at this point was they're probably going to beat Auburn.
I mean, the Tigers had lost 9 in a row to Alabama. That program was floundering.
And it began to look like Auburn might never beat Alabama again.
Bo Jackson, the big freshman from Bessemer, powerhouse of a man.
Bo Jackson at this point is still pretty much an unknown. He's also motivated by what he was motivated by his entire career, which is being dissed.
A little backstory on Bo, you have to remember Alabama recruited him, but Alabama didn't want him so much that they didn't tell him. Apparently, the legend says, an assistant coach told him, well, you might start here by the time you're a junior.
He was very hurt by the fact that Bear Bryant basically told him, you're going to have to wait a couple of years before you play.
Well, Bo wasn't going to wait until he was a junior to make an impact in college football.
And here comes this kid from McCalla, 30 miles from Tuscaloosa, said, no thanks, Coach Bryant. I'll go with Pat Dye. I'll go with Jack Crow.
He had an edge to him in signing with Auburn. He was the marquee recruit for Pat Dye at Auburn in turning that program around. So he had a little extra motivation going into that Iron Bowl himself.
Well, let's see if that gamble by Pat Dye and the Auburn Tigers backfires on him now as Alabama gets the ball first down on the Auburn 49. Walter Lewis is the quarterback out of the full wishbone. And Lewis coming left. Good runner. And he's down to the 45 for 4 yards. Greg Carr made the stop, a sophomore from Birmingham for Auburn. Frank, you were noting a moment ago while we were away that Alabama has turned the ball over a lot this year, some, 30-odd times, and it seemed strange that they wouldn't kick that ball on down there and let Alabama have a chance to make a mistake.
The team has a tendency to self-destruct. Let them handle the ball on their end of the field. When they make a mistake, you have great scoring opportunities. Most coaches believe in that theory.
Joe Carter is now in the backfield, number 46, as they break the bone. And they've got Jones wide out. And Lewis gives it to Joey Jones in the reverse. Auburn played it very well. They force him wide, but Jones has great speed. And Joey's quick feet gets him around the corner as he jukes an Auburn defender and gets a first down for Alabama down around the 33. David King and Tim Drinkard finally get him out of bounds.
The reverse play has always been something. When I was coaching against the wishbone, it scared me to death. You have to take off and try to stop the option so quickly that you leave yourself vulnerable. 92, Riley, just gets outmaneuvered by Jones, and he turns downfield and makes a nice play.
See that big old center Steve Mott downfield throwing a block as well. So it's first down Alabama at the Auburn 33. And Lewis takes it out of the fullback's belly, keeps it himself, gets to the 30 for 3 yards, hit hard by Chris Martin. Second down with about 7. As Lewis gives the ball inside this time, he let the fullback have it, and Ricky Moore, the big sophomore from Huntsville, punches in there and gets another first down for Alabama. And so now the Tide marching along. They're down on the Auburn 22 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first quarter and no score.
The first leg of the wishbone is to pull back up the middle. The center, Steve Mott, Mike Adcock, and Gary Bramlett opened up a nice hole. Some coaches feel that you just got to establish that fullback first before you can go outside.
Joe Carter in at a halfback spot now. He's a junior from Starkville, Mississippi. Lewis back to throw it. He's got Jones over the middle, down to the corner, and it is incomplete. I think if Joey Jones had stayed on his route toward the goalpost, he might have broken totally free, but he turned it back into the corner, and the pass was late.
The strong move to the inside, as Keith said, was to the goalpost. Number 27, King, is an outstanding defender for Auburn. Leads the team in interceptions and very good on man-to-man coverage. Pattern's what we call a post corner.
Ben Ross to the left, Jones to the right. Second down and 10, Lewis back. He looks over the middle, he's got a man, Jones, he's out of the end zone. Oh, they give him the touchdown. He dragged the foot. He looked to me like he was going to sail right out of the end zone, but he had to drag a foot down, and it goes for a 22-yard touchdown.
Jones is the only receiver on either team that's caught over 2 passes a ball game. Let's see if he is, in fact, legal with the reception. Remember that Jones has to make contact with the ground before he goes out of the end zone. Let's see what happens.
He got his left foot down.
What a play.
Oh, boy.
Is that concentration? Outstanding play by Jones.
Just barely touched that left foot down. Peter Kim is in for the extra point try, and it is good. With 4:44 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Alabama. And Auburn's Gamble did have a short fuse. Walter Lewis back to throw on first down. He's going big for Joey Jones. He missed it.
There are certain games in history that are transition games from one point of history to the other. This was the transition game from the end of the Bear Bryant era. That was his last game as a regular season game to the Pat Dye era.
It felt like a statewide processional going toward the end of that year. And so the buildup going into that game was, this will be Bear Bryant's farewell to the Iron Bowl. It wasn't, we're going to be introduced to maybe the best athlete any of us are ever going to see in our lifetime.
It was Pat Dye's second year, and so they were starting to make some progress. And Bo Jackson was a freshman, but there were a lot of other really good players on that team, and you could see that he was starting to do the upgrade. So the question was, would Pat Dye, the pupil, finally beat the teacher? And that's sort of what the theme was going into the game.
Alabama's football. And Walter Lewis stays at quarterback. Lewis is now 4 out of 8, 53 yards for a touchdown. Rogan comes out. Bendross and Jones now are your wideouts for Alabama. Craig Turner is a very strong, straight-ahead runner. Third down, 4. Lewis outside, goes to Patrick. Patrick, big game. Inside the Auburn 30, down to the Tigers 28. First down, Alabama.
Triple option, fake to the fullback. Then defensive end takes the quarterback, elects to take the quarterback, and then Patrick, number 25, gets a block from 88. Bendross cuts back inside for the first down. I've been there, Keith, trying to defensive wishbone when you can throw and run on wishbone. Watch out.
Ball is just inside the Auburn 29. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tide leads 7-0. Lewis flips it deep. Joe Carter has the ball. Fumble. Auburn's got it. The ball popped up in the air. It's a foot race to the goal line. And Lewis is after him, and Walter Lewis makes the tackle on Tim Drinkard, saving the touchdown. The ball popped up in the air, and Tim Drinkard, the quarterback, blocked it. And away he flew for 62 yards.
Let's watch it again. Tremendous tackle by one Auburn football player. The headgear hit the ball. Drinkard, number 18, the defensive cornerback. Watch him run. He has a couple of blocks. Lewis, being 4'6" speed, finally catches him, but it's 62-yard return.
And first down, Auburn at the Alabama 14. Let's see if the Tigers can cash it in. They give it to their fullback, Greg Pratt. And Pratt is rolled back from the line of scrimmage.
Let's watch the play again. You can see that it's just a pitch back to Carter. The ball bounces right up in the air. Number 18, Drinkard, catches it and runs right down the field. Boy,
that's the whole point, too, Frank, that he caught it in the air.
In the air. Otherwise, he could not have advanced it.
Got a paper sack ball out on the field, so they have to get that out of the way. There was no gain by Pratt on the play up the middle. Auburn hasn't gained maybe a foot all day up the middle against Alabama.
In this game last year, Auburn in the first half missed 3 field goal opportunities and had a pass intercepted by Alabama on the 1-yard line.
Second down and 10 from the Tigers team. Campbell's going to throw. Goes for Wood. Too high. Incomplete. It'll be third down and 10 from the Alabama 14.
Quick out pattern this close to the goal line is seldom effective because the defense do not have to cover deep and then jump right on the wide receiver. and covering very tightly, and that was the case.
They've marked that ball closer to the 13 now, but they've moved it up at least a foot and a half from where they had it marked before. Auburn running about 37% on third down conversions over the season. They run a little delay to Lionel James, and touchdown. Great blocking by the Auburn offensive front. Castillo just simply couldn't hold the Auburn running back James. Lyon was only 5'7", 170 pounds, but he's a tough little guy. Now for the extra point try. Al Del Greco, a junior from Key Biscayne, Florida, puts it up and through. With 54 seconds to play in the first quarter, we are even. Alabama 7 and now Auburn 7. As they recover the fumble in midair.
Well, my first year, I wasn't used to playing 13 games. In high school, we only played 7 or 8 games in high school. I got homesick, to be honest with you.
I think that there was a tremendous amount of pressure that I didn't realize. I don't think anybody could realize except Bo being in the position that he was in.
And the week before the Alabama game, my freshman year, I decided, well, I'm going to go home. Got my buddy's car and drove to the bus station. Sat there till after 1 a.m., contemplating whether I should get on that bus and go home.
He's depressed, and the pressure was probably, you know, I mean, he's still a young man.
And I started thinking, if you got on that bus and went home, for number one, the people around your neighborhood is going to say, I told you he wouldn't amount to anything, because I was a troublemaker. He wouldn't amount to anything. And then I would disappoint my mother and everybody that looked up to me as, well, he's gone on to college and he's done something with his life. I just don't want to be another person that's just hanging around the neighborhood, not doing anything with his life.
I get word the next morning, I think Sunday morning, and I said, well, you get into my office as quick as you can. And Bo came in, and we sat and visited, and I told him, I said, Bo, I said, there's no way for me to imagine what you feel as far as the pressure of going back to Birmingham and playing this football game. I said, but the thing that I do want you to know is that for the first time, probably in 9 years, the Auburn people are going to Birmingham to play this football game against Alabama with hope. I said, you give the Auburn people hope.
We played Alabama the next week, I think, which was the last year Paul Bear Bryant was coach. He was on the sideline. Legion Field in Birmingham sold out. And I was just nervous. I don't think I've ever been that nervous before, because here we are. I'm standing across the field from the University of Alabama, the team that I've always wanted to play for, and Bear Bryant standing there with his cap on, 75,000 people, and you couldn't hear yourself think.
Right now, Alabama's got to go to work, and they've marked them down at their own 19. Walter Lewis back in his quarterback, and he's going to throw it. And he comes over the middle with it to Bendross. And Bendross is out to the 37 for a first down. Dennis Collier hit him hard, but Big Jesse just tucked it away.
Hayden Fry at SMU is the first coach that used 2 wideouts in the wishbone attack. It spreads the defense. You see what happens when you get speed at those wideouts, and Bendross, number 88. Look how wide open he is across the middle. Lewis lays it right in for the completion.
Number 24 is in the Alabama backfield now, Mickey Ginyard. Paul Bryant continuing to shuffle his players in. They move it from near the 37. Lewis, the quarterback, keeps it, turns it inside, and he runs it to the 43. Quincy Williams, a junior from Douglasville, Georgia, makes a stop on him.
With two split receivers and a full house backfield in the wishbone, I should make the point that you lose a little bit of your running strength right up the middle. You don't have that tight end to block you. As we look at the pass rush so far, Alabama is just really, really putting it on them, but Auburn had one big play, the recovered fumble in the air.
Second down, 4, near the 43. Lewis back to throw. He's got Patrick to the left. He goes to Bendross. Jesse's open and got it. And first down, Alabama at the Auburn 26. Dennis Collier, free safety, having trouble staying with Bendross.
Acres and acres of open field when you see a team has to stop the run and then cover the receiver. Watch Bendross. You don't see anybody in the picture. He is wide open until finally the safety man. Look how wide open he is. The safety man, Collier, has to come from over the football and try to cover him, an impossibility.
Jesse comes limping off the field now. Lewis passing 6 out of 10, 102 yards. Bendross comes off the field limping. From the Auburn 26, first down, Alabama. Lewis. And Lewis, the fullback, inside Craig Turner. And Turner takes just over the 20.
Greg Carr, number 54, as we've already said previously, is an outstanding linebacker. He can run to the right and left as good linebackers, but when the play is up the middle, he's got to take on the player. The blocker many times, as he does right there, he gets under the shoulder pads. Good linebacker, and then comes off and makes the play. That's an outstanding defensive play.
Pitch it wide to Patrick. Patrick is spun down behind the line of scrimmage, and number 28, Bob Harris, the strong safety, penetrated to make the play. Bobby was playing almost a defensive end position once the play broke.
Strong safeties can be a key personnel on your defense because they are a combination linebacker, end, and cornerback. On that occasion, he just penetrated immediately. It wouldn't be blocked.
The loss is back to the 22. Darrell White now comes in at a wideout position for Alabama. Over Lewis having a big first half, now totaling over 100 yards. Third down and 7. And they hand it inside, and there's nothing there for Patrick. Number 63 was the man that made the first contact with him, playing middle guard. James Wallace, a 6-footer, sophomore from Gadsden, Alabama. He weighs 260 pounds.
Alabama gambled on the draw play on 3rd and long. Auburn was ready for it, forcing an attempted field goal.
Peter Kim will try the field goal from 37 yards, and from that distance, he is 4 out of 5 in 1982. It's up, plenty of leg on it, and it's good. 8 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the first half. The Goodyear Blimp America bringing you that picture as Terry Sanders has the ball on the tee for Alabama and will kick it off. He's going to go into the wind. Lionel James drifting across, yard deep in the end zone, is coming out. And tries to break it to the sidelines and just could not get there. Stan Gay, the first man to hit him for Alabama. Jesse Bendross with ice on the knees. He came hoppling off the field, but the report is that Jesse will be able to play more. The ball is at the 18.
On 18. As we look at Bendross's numbers for the season, you notice 21-yard average per reception, which is not unusual if you have a wishbone running attack to help you.
Auburn's running attack has been virtually nil so far today. Alabama leading now 10-7. Campbell gives it inside. 2 yards to Bo Jackson.
I think we
make it 3. They're giving it 21.
Keith, we should make the point that Jackson has never played fullback before. Auburn had an off week to practice this, but it's hard for a freshman to come in and play a new position in 2 weeks' time and perform against a team as good as Alabama.
First time Auburn has shown the I formation this season. And they were hoping to be able to pop Jackson out of the I and get some yardage out of it. So far it hasn't worked. As Campbell going wide to Lionel James, there's not enough people out there to help him around the corner. Alabama's defensive flow is outstanding. Mike Pitts, the defensive end, strung it out and stood his ground.
Well, Pitts weighs 255 pounds, stands 6'4", all Southeastern Conference. Really one of the finest defensive ends in the Southeastern Conference, if not America. As we look at the Bear, and don't think he's not coaching and getting involved. He does. He may talk that he doesn't. He may give you that impression. He's still running the show.
From the 23, third down, 5 for Auburn. Alabama now totaling 228 yards on offense. And Auburn 67 prior to that play, which is good to the 29 and close to a first down with Bo Jackson carrying. There's the difference so far in this ball game offensively.
Alabama's been able to throw the football. Auburn coaches told me as we watched the measurement that they didn't think they could win the game if they didn't hit some passes. Key situations, they've been unsuccessful so far.
He got it by the nose of the ball.
Now Auburn is lining up in 2 tight ends, I formation, 1 split receiver, which is really a goal line attack. Not much threat of a big run there, a big play, unless James can pop it on his own natural ability. That's trying to get 1 wide receiver out of the ball game. We've got 2 tight ends, and he had Edwards and Woods both in the ball game of 12 players.
Now get back to the legal limit. First down for Auburn. And blindsided. Campbell is hit by John Elias, the nose guard. And then making a flying effort to grab that ball was Russ Wood. Russ couldn't quite get it.
You're going to see Campbell throw the ball right to Woods, the tight end. The defensive end, excuse me. Mike Woods right here is going to throw the ball out to James, but Woods comes in front and nearly intercepted, which could have been a touchdown. The ball was thrown too hard for him to handle.
240-pounder climbing on your back, though, it doesn't help your accuracy much.
Right off of his blind side, quarterback's blind side.
Second down and 10, just outside the 28. Ride it off to the inside. And carrying is Ron O'Neal. Ron O'Neal, 5'9", 245, but he can't produce much. He gets it up to the 30.
They make 1 yard.
So it'll be third down and about 8. They swing it over to Lionel James. Get him out there one-on-one, and it doesn't do much good because Robbie Jones, number 97, a senior from Demopolis, Alabama, just looked him right in the eye and took him down. It'll be fourth down.
Jones making the tackle.
Auburn unable to get much going offensively so far in the ball game. It'll be the 4th punt of the day for Lewis Colbert. His last one was a beauty, 57 yards, and Paul Carruth is deep for Alabama.
See the fullback calling the blocking assignments after he reads the alignment.
Well, they got some pressure on him, but again, Colbert hits a good high-hanging punt, not as long as the other one, but it's a very effective punt, forcing the fair catch for Alabama back at the 27, a 44-yarder.
You can see that Alabama is coming right through. They have one, he must be a 3-step kicker, very slow. 1, 2, that's his 2nd step. 3rd step, Alabama gets very close to this. You can see
that's Rodriguez, Mike Rodriguez.
His hands, if he'd extended them, he might have been able to deflect the ball.
So it's Alabama's ball. First down at their own 27. Tide leading the Tigers 10-7. 5:12 to play in the first half. And Walter Lewis fumbles the ball. It is picked up by the trailing back, Jeff Fagan. And a loss on the play back to about the 22. It is second down and 15. From the 22, pressure's on. Lewis throws a dime trail out there, and it's picked off by Bob Harris. He was getting pressure from the blind side, and his arm must have been hit because that ball just came fluttering out there like an old lame-legged turkey. And Bob Harris stepped right in there and picked it off.
The backside rush is what really worries the quarterback and the coaches. He cannot see it. You're going to see coming back there, who is that, number 99? Smith. And he gets his arm and watch the ball. It just flutters up like a wounded duck. And it comes right down into the hands of Harris from Decatur, Georgia, my old hometown, and that's Harris's 4th interception of the season. Number 28, Harris, the strong safety, you can see, reads the ball, goes up in front of the receiver, Fagan, and intercepts the pass.
So it's a big chance for Auburn now from the Alabama 25, and Campbell goes with it, and he almost throws an interception. My goodness, he threw the ball right straight toward Jeremiah Castile, and Castile could not pull it down. The Auburn defense has set up the offense now. Remember, it was Tim Drinkard who picked that loose fumble out of the air and ran 62 yards. That set up the 14-yard play for the touchdown. And now here is Bob Harris, who has made another big defensive play for the Tigers. He go to your old high school?
He went to my old high school, Decatur, Georgia. You never know I'm from Georgia, would you?
Second down and 10. And Campbell wants to throw again. Goes middle, has a man, Edwards. And Mike Edwards hauls it down at the Alabama 11. First down for Auburn.
Play action pass. Handcuffs the linebackers. Edwards is going to drift across the middle. The ball is thrown right in the numbers, the best place to throw it when you're going across that middle. Edwards has played halfback, fullback, tight end, wide receiver. Just a very versatile player. He's wide open. Linebackers handcuffed to the face.
They mark it inside the 10. So we're going to have to call it 9 yards away. First and goal from the 9. It's actually about 9.5. And Lionel James a hole. And James almost loses the ball as he is hit. But he has enough of a handle to take it down at the 4. Jeremiah Castile, left side quarterback, hit him hard. That's a big pickup on first and goal. They got a little more than 5 yards on it.
Good blocking by Jackson, the right halfback, the freshman, and also the fullback, Neal, clearing the path.
Alabama leading 10-7 with 3:15 to go in the first half. And Auburn trying to regain, trying to take the lead for the first time. Second down and goal inside the 5, handed off up the middle of the fullback, and he surges down to about the 2. So it'll be third and goal from the Alabama 2. They want a timeout to talk, it appears. And they take it. Clouds continue gray, kind of heavy, but no rain so far today. Now here comes Auburn on third down and 2. Tommy Wilcox is on the field and has been out there in the Alabama secondary, in case you were curious about it. The All-American. They're going to go out of the wishbone, and Campbell down the line, turns it, keeps it for the goal line, touchdown. Defensive end for Alabama had a hold of Campbell, but Randy just hung in there. When he turned back to his right, he was able to fall across the goal line, and Auburn has taken the lead. Now going for the extra point, Greco. Mike Mann holds it. Now Del Greco hits it. Good. 2:55 to go in the first half. 14-10 Auburn.
Number 74, watch number 74, the pulling guard. He gets right in the way of Campbell. Number 74, as he turns up, he actually blocks Campbell first right there. He nearly tackles him. Now Campbell twists and turns and gets across the goal line for the touchdown. Extra effort by Campbell, resulting in a touchdown.
Right now, let's check in with Jim Lampley, see what's going on in Athens.
Keith, as you know, Herschel Walker needs 181 yards today to move past Archie Griffin and become the number 3 all-time rusher. He just got 59 of them on this early first-quarter touchdown run against Georgia Tech. It is the Bulldogs 7, the Engineers nothing in Athens.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker almost seemed out of the same mold.
Both were two of my all-time favorite players.
It's tough to say anyone other than Herschel. I think Herschel's one of the best college football players of all time, but I think Bo, if you were to make an argument for anyone being better than Herschel, I would say Bo is right there.
both of those guys are going to win the collision. So who's faster? You know, speed is an equalizer. When you have both of those things, yeah, that's who you give it to.
Both were very powerful. Both were very fast.
Big, strong, fast Southern kids who came out of situations where they were not at huge high schools, but they became huge figures in college, and then in the pros, they became unforgettable, each for his own reasons.
But if you had to hand it off to one guy, I mean, I think I'd hand it off to Bo Jackson. I'd like to have both of them in the same backfield if I could.
If you asked me who I would take, obviously I'd be prejudiced, but I'd take Herschel Walker. Because I'd take Herschel Walker in the fourth quarter, or the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, because Herschel would still be grinding, and because of that self-discipline and mental toughness, I would go with Herschel.
To me, Herschel's the best player I've ever seen in the SEC.
Malou gives the ball to Herschel Walker. Walker finds a hole on the right side. He's outside, and he may be gone.
Sorry, Bo, but I mean, you're good. I mean, you're like really good, like the second best player in the SEC. But Herschel's the best. I mean, I would gamble on him every time.
Bear Bryant was many different things to his player. He could be the meanest, most arrogant, most unreasonable guy.
Everything I do, I'm trying to win the game.
No reason for it, just for that.
Well, I'm trying to win the game.
Now, what about them?
I don't have to apologize for who I play. I'm trying to win the game.
Players could hate him. Then he could say 1 word, 2 words. They would love it. He knew how to turn it on and off. And that's what made him the great coach he was. It wasn't X's and O's, although he was a great defensive coach. He knew how to look inside a player's soul and find out what it took to make him play. That's what separated Bear Bryant.
19 seconds to play in the first half. Alabama owns the football, first down at the Auburn 39, with the running quarterback Ken Coley in the ball game, and he just completed a pass to Darrell White for the first down. 14-10 Auburn lead. Bendross is wide to the top of the picture. Coley almost falls down coming off the snap. He's in some pressure now, and he's going to run it, and he hits the chalk back up around the 40, just outside the 40. Well, he's out of bounds, and he's going to lose about 1.5 yards or 2. Walter Lewis now is in at quarterback. 12 seconds to play in the first half. Second down and 12. And Lewis straight back. He's very quick. Oh, he's got Bendross in the end zone wide open. He hits White on the sidelines and gets a first down. He didn't see Bendross. Bendross was all by himself hollering, "Woo, look at me!" And he never saw it.
Here's Bendross. You can see he's going to cross and go out to the right. And when Lewis scrambles to the left with his quickness, number 47, King runs all the way across the field. Number 27, I don't know why he did this. Look how wide open he is for a touchdown, but he couldn't get the ball back to him, or he didn't see it.
White was shaken up on his catch. Darrell White getting the first down for Alabama at the Auburn 15.
White's just going to get over close to the boundary. If he can catch the ball, he wants to get out of bounds. Stop the clock as quick as you can. Get out of bounds. Now Alabama has a field goal opportunity.
White coming off the field, and a 33-yard kick coming up by Peter Kim, with 2 ticks remaining on the clock in the first half. The holder is quarterback Paul Field. Snap is good, hold is good, kick by Kim is good. And so time runs out in the first half as Alabama gets a 33-yard field goal, the second by King today, but Auburn leads at halftime by 14-13.
Auburn fans had that chip on their shoulder. You know, it's been 9 in a row. You know, Coach Bryant's still, you know, hanging out. Coach Bryant is Coach Bryant. They got this young guy, Pat Dye.
Pat Dye came in, and you could tell this is real. And this is not going to be a one-year thing. This is going to be going forward.
We're not going to be little brother anymore. We're not going to look up at you. We're not going to be under your thumb. We're going to be your equal. And Pat Dye brought that attitude to Auburn. And of course, he'd been at Alabama for a number of years as an assistant to Bear Bryant, so he knew how to take them on and meet them head on.
Obviously, I mean, the very next year, Auburn is national champions and finishes number 3 in America.
We start the second half, a bouncing kickoff to Paul Carruth. Carruth looking for the sidelines, gets out there and turns it upfield for a good gain. As Alabama will start first down at its 33. That was a 30-yard return by Carruth. Alabama opens, we presume, with Lewis, Fagan, Carruth, Moore, Jones. Though Coach Bryant has played a lot of people in that first half. The offensive front will be Bendross, Vickers, Bramblett, Mott, Adcock, Kayavek. And it is Walter Lewis at quarterback, with Bendross coming to the bottom of the picture. Lewis, 7 out of 12 for 128 yards and a touchdown. He's run 7 times and picked up 19 yards on the ground. And Lewis coming to the open side of the field, hums it. He had something on the pass, rolling to his left. He can drill it, and he nails Bendross on the numbers for a first down up at the 46.
Remember that Alabama's quarterback is just as good a runner as he is passer. That really forces the cornerback to come up, opening up the crease right to Jones, and he puts the ball right on the numbers.
And a first down for the Tide at their own 46, just starting the second half of play. Auburn 14, Alabama 13. Auburn throwing a 4-man front. 3 linebackers are in tight. They're going to reverse it, give that ball, back it goes, and it's a delayed version of the old flea flicker. Now that turns into a screen. And carrying the ball, Ricky Moore. And we've got an Auburn man hurt on the play. An Auburn man is down on the field. Scott Riley, defensive end, 204-pounder from Birmingham. Ben Thomas, big tackle for Auburn, 267. Dow Aukman, the middle guard, 263. Doug Smith, right tackle, 265. And Quincy Williams, the end, 218. Linebackers, Greg Carr, sophomore at 213. And Christopher Martin, 232 pounds. Auburn man leaving the field is number 28, Bob Harris. Harris was coming after Walter Lewis on a slowed down version of the old flea flicker play. It started out as a big wide reverse and then back to Lewis, and then eventually turned into something of a screen play to the fullback, Ricky Moore, and it was good for 2 yards. Lewis straight back on second down and 8. Loops it out here to Moore again. The man in front missed his block, and Moore outruns the pursuit and goes for another Alabama first down. So they're getting the Auburn defense spread out, Frank, and they're making it work.
Here are the stats for the first half. Alabama dominating in every category except the 2 turnovers that were very costly. When you're in Auburn's position, your coach has to try to analyze what's wrong with our offense. Is it the fact that we're calling the wrong plays or getting whipped? To me, they were just getting whipped in the offensive line by the Alabama defense. That's major problems.
Ball just short of the Auburn 41. First down for the Tide. Alabama trying to get it going early here. Give that ball to Turner. And Greg Turner veers off to the right side, turns it back upfield, moves it to the 36 of Auburn. Doug Smith brought him down. He's a big junior from Bayboro, North Carolina.
Today's attendance, Keith, Legion Field, 76,300.
Wall-to-wall sellout. Why wouldn't it be?
Split right down the middle, half to Auburn, half to Alabama in the tickets.
Second down and 5, Tide. Lewis, he's got Bendross over there to first down. And Jesse is dragged down by David King, number 27 for Auburn. And will advance the ball to the Auburn 25. And a first down.
It's a checkoff play, Keith. You can see that Bendross was singly covered, no one around him. The defensive back King was off of him a good 10 yards, giving him plenty of time to catch the ball, and actually King makes a great play to stop him from advancing after the catch.
Bob Harris, who was shaken up, walked off the field. serious injury, just shaken up. Lewis is 4 for 4 in this possession for Alabama. Gives that ball off to the fullback Moore, and Ricky Moore is inside the 20, bounced down at the 18. So the Alabama offense looks pretty determined to start this second half.
What Alabama is doing is really giving Auburn defense adjustment problems with the two split ends. They're trying to cover the passes, then they're trying to defend the run, and Alabama quarterback Lewis is just changing the play at the line to hit the weakness.
Give Moore 7 on the carry, second down, 3. There goes the big guy up the middle again. He's inside the 10. He's down to the 8. Christopher Martin brought him down, and it's first and goal to go Alabama.
Excellent block on the left side. You can see that the nose man, the center, Mott, picks up the off linebacker. The nose man was over him, but he just reaches out and picks up the linebacker who was keying on the fullback, and he couldn't make the tackle.
Ricky Moore now 9 carries and 65 yards. Lewis outside to Ruth. Touchdown.
Here's the option play. Ian elects to take the quarterback, Ruth 16. Good block from Jones. As I said earlier, here's Jones to block. Watch Jones. He's not very big, but he has to block on the goal line. The cornerback out. He makes the contact and allowing Caruth to go in for the touchdown. 8 plays and 66 yards.
Alabama's going for 2. Lewis throws it over the middle. No. He was under pressure. Tried to hit Paul Caruth over the middle. Paul coming back to the ball, but he seemed to lose his balance a little bit and couldn't come back quite far enough. And as he fell, the ball came loose. So the try for 2 failed. 12:22 third quarter. Alabama 19, Auburn. Play on the rug. Artificial surface here at Legion Field, and when the ball hits the ground, it tends to bounce. Bounce. Second down and 9 tied. Ball at the Auburn 35. Coley on the option, going the other way. Look at that. You don't think he isn't quick? He doesn't have a sense of where the pressure is. That's another first down for Alabama.
Coley has had 3 knee operations. Number 11, the quarterback. The play is to go to the left. It's an option play. Auburn has it defense perfectly. But watch the presence of mind, as Keith said. And another thing that we should mention, the Alabama offense has played most of the ball game, and the Auburn defense must be getting tired. And Coley makes a fine play for the first down.
9 carries, 53 yards for Ken. First down, Alabama. Ball at the Auburn 20. Big guy, Moore, the fullback, to about the 17.
Alabama's strategy, as we look at Paul, Bear Bryant, and Pat Dye, the 2 coaches, had coached for Bear for about 10 years here at Alabama before he left and went to East Carolina, Wyoming, and back to Auburn, to the state of Alabama and to Auburn.
Moore now is rolling along. Ricky's got 78 yards on 14 carries. Big day for him. Big day offensively for Alabama. Second down, 7.
Ran
out to 25 seconds. That's going to cost him 5 yards.
Still be second down.
Coley was checking off, looking to change his play, and
well, Keith, when you line up in the wishbone with 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side, you have to use the audibles to take advantage of the weakness of the defense.
Delay, offense, 25-second infraction, second down.
What Alabama is doing, if they single cover the receivers, they pass. If they double cover, they run the football. It's very simple, but stopping it is very difficult.
Second down and 12. Ball comes back out. Ball comes back out to the 22. Gives it to the halfback. And Joe Carter takes it down to the 10.
From the end zone, watch the beautiful blocking. Auburn has spread their defense to cover the receivers. Trap block. Moore, the fullback, makes the block, but Joe Carter really breaks around and makes a fine play, but the key block was Gary Bramblin, the offensive guard, number 68.
The ball is right on the 10-yard line. First and goal to go for Alabama at the Auburn 10. Alabama 19, Auburn 14.
The drive started at the 6-yard line of Alabama.
Coley shows it to the fullback and gives it to the fullback. Moore to the 5. Second down and goal with 3:10 to play in the third quarter.
Isn't it a great thing for a coach to have two quarterbacks, Keith? One that's outstanding pass and a good runner. He gets bunged up a little bit, and his substitute comes in and moves the team from the 6-yard line to the opponent's 4-yard line, mixing up running and passing.
Just inside the 5, second down and goal. They'll give it to the big guy, and they'll get him to about the 4, and that'll do it. It's Ben Thomas, the big sophomore from Ashburn, Georgia, rose up to make the stop for Auburn.
In terms of good offense, mixing up the offense, listen to this. Alabama's rushed for 219 yards, and they've passed for exactly 219 so far in the ball game.
Ball is still just inside the 5. Third down and goal. Matter of starch here. If Alabama takes it 94 yards and sticks it in, it'll take starch out of Auburn. If the Auburn defense can get out of here with a field goal, that'll brace them up. As Coley turns it upfield to the 1. Fourth and goal.
How close is it? If it's close inside of 1, he'll go for it. If it's outside of 1, or close to 2 yards, he'll go for the field goal. It's inside the 1. He's still going for the field goal to get 8-point lead. Field goal would give him 8 points.
Kim today, Peter Kim, has hit from 37 and from 33. This will be a chip shot, and he is 1 out of 3 inside the 20. Hold is good. The kick is up. Penalty flag on the field.
If it is against Auburn, that means it's going to be 4th and a foot. Does he take the 3 points? Or does he wipe it off and go for the touchdown? He's going for the touchdown. He's going back in there if it's against Auburn. In comes the running backs at least. Though his 2 captains are coming out to get the call. That's what that was. His 2 captains are coming out to see exactly what the call is.
Here comes the third one, Tommy Wilcox.
All 3 captains are out there, 15 men. I've only seen one time.
Procedure, offense.
Oh, it's against Alabama.
Encroachment, defense.
Whoops.
No play. Replay the down.
Play it over. Keith, I've only seen one time in my life where a team took the 3 points off the goal line. It was Oklahoma in a game against Colorado, and they took the 3 points off and didn't make the touchdown. Lost the 3 points and lost the ball.
Oh. He'll stay with the field goal unit. Peter Kim.
I might add that 3 points wasn't a factor in the score, in the final score.
Now it's an 18-yarder. 18 yards. Second time he's hit it from there. And the second time he has knocked it through. But this time it counts. And Alabama builds its lead 22-14. Right, the Goodyear Blimp America for that picture. Legion Field in Birmingham. Now Auburn with the ball. First down. Ball at the 27. And Randy Campbell, who is 3 for 8 for 32 yards in passing. That is a great part of the story of Auburn's failure to move the ball offensively against Alabama today. That pitch goes outside to Lionel James, and he gets it around the corner and gets decent gain out of it before Jeremiah Castile and Emmanuel King going him out of bounds.
Number 6, Lionel James, has had a sensational career for Auburn.
Now gained 50 yards today on 11 carries. The ball is marked just outside the 34. It'll be second down about 3. Bo Jackson working out of the tailback spot. He breaks it big. Inside the Alabama 15, out of bounds at the tied 13. Tommy Wilcox and Jeremiah Castile had a little bit of an angle on him. Otherwise, they would have never caught him. 52 yards.
Watch the blocking on your left. Lionel James, number 6, he just rolled up the quarterback, made the place possible. You see Jackson, just a freshman, make a sensational run, giving Auburn. Watch the corner of your screen. Watch James. He rolled up the Wilcox, the strong safety, and then Jackson made the free safety miss him, which was Blue. Big gain and another opportunity for Auburn.
When you start talking about who are the greatest all-time, all-around athletes you've ever seen, Bo Jackson has got to be right there. I mean, this is a guy who obviously was a tremendous football player.
I think more than anything, in Bo's case, fearless.
He's not human. That's just not possible at that size. Billy Sims maybe was the first of those really big backs that could also outrun everybody. And then all of a sudden you had Herschel and you had Eric Dickerson. Well, Bo Jackson, I think, was the fastest of all those guys. And at that size, and he could block, and he could catch.
He was the best player on the field. He was the best player on every field he stepped onto throughout his college career.
Jackson has tremendous speed.
He does things on that football field that other guys can't do. You know, he defies all angles because of his speed and his size, and just when you think you got him trapped in, you know, he has that extra gear.
He certainly had as much big play explosiveness, as much big play capability as any back that I've ever seen. And as an all-around athlete, was probably the best all-around athlete that I've seen.
I think that he is, and you probably could go back to the 40s and 50s and find some guys who are comparable. I think he's the greatest athlete the state of Alabama's ever turned out.
First down at the Alabama 13, and they hand it inside. And it goes to Greg Pratt, the fullback. 220-pounder, spins it down to about the 9.
Keith, and going back to that last play, and looking at film, Lionel James is the best one-on-one blocker for a back in the wishbone attack that I've ever seen play.
Mark that ball just inside the 8. Give Pratt 5 yards on that carry and make it second down and 5.
Bears word, I don't blame him.
Again, inside with it, and Campbell trying to come off that snap. That's the second time today that he has got tangled up coming off the snap. He never really delivered the ball.
It looked like the left guard, Stokes, who happens to be a freshman, retreated a little bit, got right in, his feet right in, tangled up with Campbell's feet, the quarterback.
So it's third down, he's still about 5.
They ran the draw play here
Expensive
before.
play, that one. Double wide, out of the wishbone. Campbell getting pressure from the backside, and they get him down at about the 6. It was one of those defensive ends. I think it was Mike Pitts coming from the backside. Yep, it was.
Good
Big
call.
Mike Pitts.
Keith, Mike was playing on the left side because he's playing towards the tight end. He came all the way across the line, all the way across to catch the quarterback.
Now Auburn will send out the field goal unit with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the ball game. Al Del Greco will try one from 23 yards.
Del Greco kicked six field goals against Kentucky this season.
It's up there, and it's good. So Del Greco hits from 23. And with 9:06 to play in the ball game, Auburn is still in the hunt. Alabama 22 and Auburn 17. Third down and 7 from the 49. They go to Bo Jackson. And he's close. Where they put him down. They're going to get him inside the 45, close to the 44. Well, now Auburn's going to be in a fix where I think they'll have to go. 5 minutes and 16 seconds to play.
They'll have to go, but the linesman marking the ball, really, you can hear the Auburn people booing because he brought the ball back a good 2 feet.
Bo Jackson now, 12 carries and 100 yards. Just short. Just short.
Sure, they've got to go for it. Got no choice. But I want to tell you, the official spotting that ball brought it back a good 2 feet.
Well, he just marked it on first down.
Thought it was correct. I thought that Jackson had another 2 or 3 feet.
Well, the big guy goes over the top. There are certain things that Jackson does that looks a lot like Herschel Walker. That being one of them, and obviously he's got the first down as they put the ball just inside the Alabama 43.
Critical yardage, you think they'd go to the big back blocking and a little back carrying the ball. They go just the reverse with James blocking and freshman Jackson carrying it.
Staying in the wishbone now. Goes to Jackson. And he's hit at the 40. Mike Rodriguez, a big junior from Melbourne, Florida.
Auburn has plenty of time to mix up their running. Coming down to close to 4 minutes and 40 seconds. They've got time to possession-type passing and hoping that either James or Jackson, both very capable of breaking the long run.
Second down, a little over 7 for the first down. Just short of the Alabama 40. Randy Campbell wants to throw. They run him out of the pocket and then sack him. But the Alabama defense again rises up, and they get Campbell back at the 46. Randy Edwards, Russ Wood.
Play action pass, which means the receivers had better be open. Campbell gets one look. There it is. It's not there, and your lineman cannot protect any longer. All your quarterback can do is start scrambling, but I guess that's Edwards, number 96, yes, makes the play. Now Auburn is in serious trouble. 3rd and long, extra long.
3rd and 14. Campbell goes to Edwards to the 31-yard line and a first down. Big Mike Edwards pulled it in.
This is a great throw by Campbell. Watch him rifle that ball. Zoom. Look at the tight sparrow. There wasn't much room there. It took a perfect throw to Edwards. Watch Edwards get open right on the sideline. The toughest place to defend by the defensive back is as close to the sideline as possible.
Randy Campbell on 3rd and 14 threw for 15 to get the first down. Campbell puts it up again, goes to Edwards and throws it behind him. Edwards was open right in front of Castile, but Campbell missed him.
Just the perfect time to blitz for Alabama. You're in trouble, go after it. Opponents, make something happen. Wilcox was coming from the wide side of the field and gave from the corner, from the back side.
Second and 10 for Auburn. 6-man front. Wilcox is up on the line. And over the middle it goes for Chris Wood. It is intercepted by Castile. I think they're going to call Castile for pass interference.
I believe it was a good call. Castile hit the receiver before the ball was there. Alabama had a safety blitz on. That's the reason there was no safety man playing man-for-man coverage. Castile has intercepted 7 passes, 16 in his career, All-American on most of the teams this year.
It'll be first down and goal to go for Auburn inside the Alabama 10.
Defensive pass interference.
Watch Woods.
First down.
Woods has territorial rights. Castile, number 19, cannot make contact before the ball gets to the receiver. There it is, right there. Contact. The safety blitz was on. Man-for-man coverage is what Alabama was playing. Very good call by the officials. Now Auburn, Keith, has first down on the 9, which is the toughest place to have a first down.
That's right.
If you're going to get one inside the 10, please let me have it on the 6 or the 5, not on the 9.
Well, my goodness. First and goal from the 9. Penalty flags down as the ball goes to Jackson, and the whistle stop it. Both sides were moving, and I don't know who moved first.
Well, the tight end did move, number 85. Ed West. But I don't know whether he was drawn or not.
It's against Auburn. Oh, my goodness. Poise, poise, poise.
Well, that makes it 1st and 14, Keith, and that's hard.
Red ball foul. Illegal procedure. Offense.
Auburn had the football at the Georgia 14, first down, and couldn't put it in with a chance to beat Georgia.
It was 3 minutes on the clock, and Georgia stopped them to preserve their victory.
Now it's 1st and goal at the Alabama 14 after the 5-yard penalty, and Campbell back to throw. Going for Chris Woods. No. Defending Castillo. 2nd down and goal.
Auburn, as we look at Bear Bryant, who has to be worried. Watch the play of Castillo and Woods, 1-on-1. Number 19, Castillo has already been selected All-American. He's got outside responsibility. He's beaten deep. The ball was thrown too far to the outside. If Campbell could have laid it up over the head of Castillo, it could have possibly been a touchdown.
3 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the game. Alabama leading by 5.
Safety blitz. There it comes.
Outside to Bo Jackson. And Jackson is cut down at the 10. The man who had the pressure on him was number 89, Russ Wood. Well, the Alabama side is holding its breath. The Auburn side is roaring lustily here at Legion Field on 3rd down and goal. Campbell puts it up. He's got it to Bo Jackson. Jackson is down just short of the goal line. He's a foot away.
Keith, that was a sensational catch and effort by the freshman, Bo Jackson. Watch this again. He is coming out of the backfield in the short flat. The ball is right on target, but watch what this freshman does. You can see why many people say he's the 2nd best talent in the Southeast. He's going over the top, trying to get there, and he gets right to the 1-foot line.
We've been working on this play where I go over the top, called Bo over the top. That's all, Bo, the ball, go over the top.
This is Bo Jackson's idea. He goes to Pat Dye and says, you know, of course it's Bo Jackson. I can high jump 7 feet. Why don't we just do this?
He told him, line, block your ass off. If you can distract them for 1 second, I know Bo can get up over the top.
Alabama had a lot more talent, a lot deeper, and a lot more depth, and an established program, and that had been dominating that game in the league, really, for 10 years, 25 years, whatever.
I started thinking back to what that defensive coordinator of Alabama told me, is that if you went to Auburn, Auburn would never beat Alabama. They haven't in 10 years.
He gave us a dimension that Alabama didn't have.
If Auburn should score, Keith, I think they'll go for 2 to try to force Alabama to go for the touchdown to win the game. Give them a 3-point lead.
First things first. 4th and goal and a half a yard. Jackson! Touchdown! Side of Legion Field with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to play in the ball game. Auburn will go for 2. 23-22 Auburn. They're going to try to make it 25. Campbell is hit down by Russ Wood. The 2-point try fails. So they go 66 yards and 14 plays.
it seemed like everything happened in slow motion. Because you had red and white jerseys diving everywhere. You had blue and white jerseys going everywhere. We went over the top, and when I came down, my head and the football was across the goal line.
So when Bo went over the top, I mean, in my opinion, that may have been the most important one-yard gain in Auburn football history.
And the most striking thing about the play is when they showed the replay, everybody's just piled up all over the ground, and Bo looks like, in slow motion, looks like he's 18 feet up in the air.
And if you go back and look at the film, he made it, but he just barely made it. And if they had stopped him, then the game is over.
That was the only way that they could win that game. You know, they could have run a bootleg, they could have done other things because Alabama was focusing on Bo as well. But that was the perfect ending to that game, that the guy who Alabama kind of overlooked, kind of spurned, would be the guy to break the streak and do it by inches.
From that play, there was no way he was going to get denied.
Now that play was the perfect Bo Jackson play, a perfect example of what he was capable of.
Jackson! Well, there's your whole story right there on the scoreboard. Del Greco ready to kick it off. Joey Jones deep for Alabama. 2:26. Alabama with 3 timeouts left. It's a high hanger. But Jones, he's 3-4 yards deep in the end zone. He isn't going to mess with it. He knows Auburn's all jacked up, so he's going to just take it at the 20 and let him cool a little bit.
They have the numbers on the touchdown drive, and obviously the offense has been ineffective, but when they had to, they moved 66 yards when it meant the difference in possibly winning or losing the football game. Perfect example of the defense keeping you in the ball game. Good kicking, good defense, no turnovers. You always have a chance to win.
Alabama has thrown the ball well today, 219 yards. That's their highest passing total of the season. And Walter Lewis is the quarterback. He gets it off. It is incomplete and almost intercepted by Dennis Collier. Hit him right on the breastbone. Right on the numbers.
I think if I was planning a defense against Walter Lewis, as we look at this play, Collier, number 47, gets a good break on the ball, comes up, but he's coming so hard into the pass that he couldn't control it. I believe I would rush Lewis. He's too good, scrambling and gives too much time. I believe I'd go after him with this, but just.
Second down and 10. Set it up to Ricky Moore, the fullback. And Moore is up to the 24. Doug Smith hit him, and Smith hit him hard. Smith 266, 265. It is third down and 6 at the 24. Lewis is dangerous. He's got enough room for his first down, but he throws the ball, and it ricochets out of the hands of Ben Dross up at the 40. Lewis could have run for it, but he saw Ben Dross upfield, and he hit him right in the stomach with the ball.
I've seen Bear Bryant have all the luck in the world to go with his great ability, his team. Here is a tough break. Ben Dross is an excellent receiver. The ball is right there. Somehow he cannot control it, and it falls incomplete. Auburn is very lucky.
Fourth down and 6, and Alabama's going with 1:53 to play. Lewis back. Loops it upfield. It is intercepted. He tried to touch the ball, and Bob Harris intercepts it at the Alabama 30. His second interception of the ball game with 1:45 to play, and it looks like Auburn has a great opportunity now to break a long drought. Auburn has not beaten Alabama since 1972 with a famous block kick game, 17-16. They put it down at the 31.
Keith, I just want to mention again, as we look at Bear, we know how disappointed he must be. It's amazing that coaches have said all along, if you don't beat yourself, you'll stay in the football game with a good defense. And Auburn has been patient. They have not turned the ball over. They have had good kicking, and they're about to win the biggest game probably of Pat Dye's career.
1:45 to play. Lionel James going to run as wide as he can and as long as he can. And they've got him down at about the 25. Jeremiah Castillo brought him down.
Let's look at the interception. I think it was really a poor choice. I would have come back and repeated the play that they had open on third down. But Lewis is throwing out of the pocket. This doesn't give him a chance to scramble or make the first down on the run. He's not as good out of the pocket. Something Alabama has added this year, and he just lays it up perfect for interception. Great play by the defense.
Third down and 1. Alabama's got to hold them if they have any hopes. Jackson over the top. Fumbles the football. Alabama's got it. Can you believe it? With a minute and 9 seconds to play in the ball game. Bo Jackson went over the top. The ball came loose. And here's Alabama, not dead yet.
Not with Walter Lewis scrambling at quarterback. Let's see if we can detect why the ball pops out. Jackson, the right halfback, is going over the top.
Oh, he had it out there like a loaf of bread. It came right down on somebody's
ball.
helmet.
Way back out here. Yes, he lost going up, it seemed like.
From the 21 for Alabama, first down in a minute and 9 seconds to play, and Walter Lewis on a roll. He's got Ben Gross open. Jesse holds on to it. And it's a first down for Alabama up at the 36, 15 yards on the pass. And the clock stops while the chains are moved. A minute and 2 to play in a ball game. A field goal can win it for Alabama. 23-22 Auburn. Each team now with one timeout remaining. Ben Dross and Joey Jones, the wide people. 56 seconds to go in the ball game. Walter Lewis, he gets his pass off. The pass is complete. And it's good for a first down up at the 47. And again, the clock will stop with 48 seconds to play.
It's the same pass that Ben Dross dropped on third down in the previous possession. They've gone to it twice, and both times it's open. The linebacker should stay in on the curl, force him to throw the ball short outside.
Now the chain is down, and the clock is running at 42 seconds to play. Walter Lewis again rolling out. Has time, gets it off to the sideline. Too long. And it's incomplete. 35 seconds to play in the ball game. 1 point lead for Auburn, 23-22. Lewis back, getting a little pressure this time. Ottman, and he throws the ball. That may be grounding. It was Ben Thomas, number 91, that got him, and it's intentional grounding against Walter Lewis. And 30 seconds to play.
I'm really surprised that they had a running play fake. There's no need to fake the running play with 30 seconds on the clock. That just gives the defense time to penetrate. And, of course, Auburn came from the backside. And
intentional grounding, lost it down, third down.
So the ball comes back now to the Alabama 25.
See, he's faking, Keith, and you don't get as good a protection there. Lewis is best rolling out.
They've got to go to the Auburn 43 for the first down. They need 32 yards. Pressure. Got him by the coattail, but he gets away and dumps it off to Craig Turner. And Turner to the sidelines and out of bounds up at the 30. Now 20 seconds to play in the game.
Putting a little pressure on Lewis now, and that's what's important. Alabama's not known really for their passing statistics. They are play-action pass when they're in the ball game, not from a come-from-behind situation. So their protection's not quite as good as the normal passing teams would be.
Again, that was Ben Thomas, the big sophomore, 267-pounder that had a hold of Walter Lewis. Lewis broke away. Walter's 6'1", 209 himself. 20 seconds to play in the game. It is fourth down. They've got to go to the Auburn 43 for a first down. They've got to go deep. He's got it over the middle, and it is incomplete. And with 13 seconds to play in the ball game, Auburn gets the ball. Quincy Williams was back, and he forced Walter Lewis to throw the ball. Lewis was looking deep. He didn't have anybody deep. And then when Williams arrived, he had to let it go.
It shows again that the offense going up and down the field, unless you put it in the goal line, doesn't mean all that much. Alabama controlled the offensive ball. made close to 500 yards total offense and still is going to get beat by a team that's just over 200 yards.
Two big plays. The fumble snatched out of the air and returned for 62 yards, and the interception, the two interceptions actually by James. No, not James. The safety man for Auburn.
Bob Harris.
Bob Harris. Well, they'll count it down. It's a happy day for the Auburn Tigers and their partisans. They come storming out onto the field. There's 5 seconds remaining to play in the ball game. They're trying to tear down the goalpost. I don't know if they can ever restore order after this. They're probably just as well now to let things run off and time expire.
3 teams have beaten Alabama this year: Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn, that haven't beaten them in over a decade.
Well, everything in life is cyclical, and the cycle means around, and you can't avoid it. Sooner or later, you're going to have a few down times, and he's had few. And they're going to let the clock run off now, and the game is over as Paul Bryant walks off, losing for the first time since 1972 to Auburn. As Pat Dye's youngsters rose up when the occasion was offered them, when the opportunity was in front of them, and they stuck it in the end zone. And the final score, Auburn 23, Alabama 22. They're determined to tear that goalpost down.
Just hope no one gets hurt, Pete, because it's going to fall right into the crowd of people in just a minute.
That's heavy metal. I remember one time up at Michigan State seeing a young man climb up on one of those metal goalposts, and he wound up with an injury, a serious injury, and let's just hope that end of it that's sticking way up in the air now doesn't come crashing down on somebody.
It's been a long dry spell for the Auburn War Eagle fans, but probably as enthusiastic as any in America.
And we went out and we celebrated, and I caught a glimpse of my mother. People trying to get her down, and I went over and I hugged my mother and I started crying.
It's kind of a tearjerker because it meant so much to him and his family and his mother. And he ended up winning the game for us. I mean, he made the play in the fourth quarter. We were behind, I think, 8 points. We were behind 8 points, and he makes a 53-yard run and sets up a field goal, and we get the ball back late in the game and make the last drive for the touchdown, and makes a great catch to get the ball to the 2, and then we give it to him every time till he scores.
Bo goes over the top. I mean, that just lifted the whole Auburn nation. And the Tigers went on to have a great decade of the 80s under Dye. They won several SEC championships under Dye. And I think from 82 on, the Tiger Nation felt that, look, we're on an equal playing field here. I mean, we can go toe-to-toe with these guys. So I think that was very important to them.
It was the end of Paul Bryant. I mean, it was just, there was, in Birmingham, Alabama, 12 miles from where Bo grew up, 55 miles from the university, where Bo always wanted to go. Here's the one guy that Bryant should have had that wanted Alabama, beating him on a spectacular play. And it was over after that.
In one of the all-time Iron Bowls, the legend of Vincent Bo Jackson was just beginning. Bo would go on to rush for more than 4,300 yards in his 4 years at Auburn, capping it by winning the '85 Heisman. For Alabama, this would be the last Iron Bowl legendary head coach Bear Bryant would be a part of. He retired after the Liberty Bowl victory over Illinois as the all-time winningest coach in Division I football. The Bear died 1 month later, January 26, 1983. For SEC Rewind, I'm Joe Tessitore.
To have a mother sit there and to have hundreds of people, thousands of people chanting your son's name and patting you on the back and telling how wonderful your son is and how great he is, and thanking her for allowing me to come to Auburn and thanking her for this and that. And I hugged her and she said, everything's gonna be all right, baby, everything's gonna be all right. And I cried and we celebrated.